Good morning. This is John from the Springs Mennonite Church. And I'm going to start today a new week with a new topic. I want to share some ideas from the book of Jonah. Now, you've probably at least heard the tale of Jonah getting swallowed by a whale. And you probably also understand the Bible doesn't say a whale, it just says a big fish. And whatever kind of a fish it was, I guess doesn't really matter. But this is a story about a man who, like you and me, is called by God to do something. Now, he has two options. He can go and do it, or he can run. So let's see what he chooses. First chapter, beginning the first verse. The Lord gave this message to Jonah, son of Amittai. Get up and go to the great city of Nineveh. Announce my judgment against it, because I have seen how wicked the people are. But Jonah got up and went in the opposite direction to get away from the Lord. He went down to the port of Joppa, where he found a ship leaving for Tarshish. He bought a ticket and went on board, hoping to escape from the Lord by sailing to Tarshish. God calls Jonah and says, I want you to go over to Nineveh. Nineveh is 500 miles to the east. It's an important city. You'll read about it in several places in the Old Testament. He says, I want you to go down there and I want you to tell them, you have been against me, and now my judgment will come on you. Well, you think about it, that's a pretty simple task. Now, I suspect that Jonah figured people wouldn't like that message. Who would? And I suspect that he was concerned that his safety might be compromised. But the other thing in the midst of this is that Jonah isn't thinking. Instead of heading to Nineveh, 500 miles to the east, he goes down to the port and buys a ticket on a boat to Tarshish, which is 2,000 miles to the west. Jonah deliberately and intentionally tries to go the other direction. Now, what I find is so significant here is these last few words. It says, he bought a ticket and he went on board, hoping to escape from the Lord. Now, think about this. God tells Jonah to go tell the people of Nineveh, my judgment's going to come upon you. And Jonah thinks he can actually hide from God. It says here, hoping to escape. Escape means like breaking out and running away. Well, he didn't run away. Yeah, that's true. But he was going to try to escape from God. Well, that sounds pretty crazy to me. But yet, many people do essentially the same thing. Now, most people don't get a call from God to go tell some other group of people you're in big trouble. God's going to get you. No, not that part. But a lot of people think instead of doing what they know is the right thing, they can run the other direction and God won't notice. You really think the creator of the world doesn't notice? Now I realize it's not a rational idea. No, Jonah thinks it through, but it's not a reasonable thought. And we'll talk about the consequences of this action as we go through the week. But how many times have we ignored what God wanted, thinking he won't notice? How many times have we really known that we're supposed to, that's something simple. We're supposed to go and apologize to somebody. We did something wrong, we should apologize. And we don't. And we think, or we don't think, but we assume it won't matter. But you see, God is interested in every little step in our way, every direction that we take. God wants to do with you what he tried to do with Jonah here, which is tell him what he wants him to do. God's trying to speak to you, speak to me, and to all of us. Because he has a purpose for you and for me. Jonah's purpose here is clearly stated. Go to Nineveh, tell them that my judgment's coming because they haven't done what I wanted. Jonah can't claim he doesn't understand. He can't even claim ignorance. Oh, I didn't. I didn't think you meant that. He knew exactly what God wanted him to do. And instead of doing it, he tried to hide and ran. I would like to encourage you today. I don't know what God wants you to do. Something big, something small, I don't know. But whatever it is, don't try to run from it. There's something inherently good for you in doing what God wants you to do, even if you can't understand it, even if it doesn't make any sense. Jonah is actively trying to resist God. Now, as I go through the week, you'll find out how that worked out for him. If it didn't work out for Jonah, that strategy is not going to work out for you either. So think about it. What does God want you to do? Even if you've never known him before, he still has something for you to do. What is he leading you? What's the next step? Well, only you can answer that one. But I can tell you this, there is a next step. And God is controlling it. What do you think about that? I'll be back tomorrow. Looking forward to a good week. Hope you are too. If you have a need or concern, let us know. We'll do whatever we can as fast as we can to help meet your need. So until tomorrow, I'll be back. I wish God's blessings upon you in a wonderful, wonderful way.